One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey everybody, welcome to Edgar Cayce Live. Delighted to be with you. Let's get started, huh? Come sing with us.
I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river in my soul. I got joy, joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain, I got joy like a fountain in my soul.
All warmed up. We are just having the most amazing day out here in my garden in Ojai. I'm telling you, the weather is like beyond fabulous. So we're really glad you could be here with us. We'll have a lot of fun today. I got a super interesting topic. I'm going to talk about mediumship and Edgar Cayce. Pretty interesting, huh? I think you're going to be very interested to hear it. And you know, you can call into my red phone and interact with me. It's 188-DEB-SHOW or DeborahKing.com DEB-SHOW. If you're international, you can still connect with me. Would love to help you. You might want to call now and join the line, and would be great fun to, work with you today. We're going to be talking a lot about the Akashic Records because that was Edgar Cayce's bailiwick. So here's your chance to check out your own Akashic record. So I'd like to say just a few words here. Just drop in. We'll all close our eyes for just a second. Right. So let's connect to all the guidance that's out there for us. Start with our ancestors, our animal guides, the ascended masters, the angels. There's so many of them that are here with us all. And any divine figure that resonates for you from any culture, from near or far. We ask them all to join us today and guide us. And so it is. Okay, take a second and introduce the band. Over here I've got Lois Mejia, such a talented vocalist and friend, and so much fun to sing with. Oh yeah. And right behind her we've got, who is that, Dahlia, right behind here, Dahlia Rodriguez, lovely voice, and Sophie right behind her, just a new addition who's got just a really beautiful voice. So it's so much fun, us girls. And then over on this side, we got the guys. We've got Jack, our musical director, Jack Lee. He's shared the stage with many greats. J.B. White's right behind him, really a mainstay in our group. And, don't you love what is that, J.B., a tenor sound you've got there? It's so sweet.
Baritone.
Is it a baritone? Yeah, really pretty. And then just behind JB, we've got our guy David Telegian, who plays a massive sax and you name it, flute. Wow, he can manage it all. And then Lee Roleg up top, back in the day with the Roger Miller Band. And I'm quite entranced with his, first I fell in love with his violin. Now I'm in love with his electric guitar. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. And then last but never least, our guy James Gantunis, who keeps us all in tune. And it's just, you're so entertaining, really, James. And can he sing? Yeah, he really can. All right. So with that, we'll sing Sally Gardens. All the words are right here on YouTube and Facebook. Sing along, okay? Sing along.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sally Gardens with little snow white feet. He bid me take life.
as the grass grows on the weir. But I was young and foolish, and now I am full of tears. Fun. Really, just a lovely song. All right, time to talk about mediumship and Edgar Cayce. Let's do it. So, really a fun subject, isn't it? A very intriguing subject, connecting to the other side, where someday we'll all be. This topic's commonly called mediumship. So, me, I'm going to talk a little bit of history. This is the definition would be the practice of communicating with the dead. During a typical mediumship reading, there are two types. There's the mental type, where the medium supposedly is taken over by a spirit and controls their speech, and they speak as this decedent. Now, in the physical type, it's a little different. The communication might be voices in the room that come out of the air, or rapping on walls was very big back in the 1800s. Movement of objects. It's wild for sure. The rational left-brain scientist part of me, always scrutinizes these kinds of things very carefully. So the practice can be traced back, though, all the way to early times when shamans, of course, in our communities, they provided guidance by connecting to the other world, to the spirit world. The heyday of mediumship was in the 1800s, late 1800s, when spiritualism, which is really a movement that focused on mediumship, was in vogue. And my theory is they didn't have TV or the internet, so what else would you do with your evenings except go rap on tables and stuff? Their form of entertainment. So mediumship is generally frowned upon by most modern religions, but it is mentioned in the Old Testament. So I did my homework in preparation for talking to you today. Now, it's seen quite a surge in popularity, in the last 10 or 20 years. So here's why I want to talk about it. The questions are, why talk to the dead? Is it helpful? Is it safe? Is it real? And I can certainly tell you that when someone from the other side weighs in on one of my sessions with a client or a guest, that's someone who's given me permission to look at them and to help them. If somebody from the other side offers me insight or direction, I listen to that very carefully, of course. It could be very helpful. However, if you follow me, you might know that I teach that guidance from the other side shouldn't be solicited. It should be allowed to come to you, the practitioner, in a very natural way in the course of a session with the client when it's offered, not you reaching out for it willy-nilly. I think that's not a good idea. I believe that the information that's received by the, quote, medium or practitioner should be used solely for the purpose of helping your client or guest for whom the information is delivered to heal, to transform, to work through their issues. Now, here are the reasons why. Number one, these are all the things I've noticed in a lifetime of doing this. The most common problem I've seen, and why in my school of energy medicine, why I do not teach mediumship, is that I see people who do this routinely as a hobby or job, reaching out for information to the other side, is their third chakra and their sixth chakra become too large. That's the ones they're using. Their third eye gets all blown out of proportion because it's the main thing they would use to, solicit that connection. this is to their ultimate detriment. This doesn't work out for you ever long range to have one or more chakras a lot bigger than the others. You don't want to have that kind of imbalance in your energy field. It affects your body, your mind, and your spirit, and in negative ways. Now again, I am distinguishing the very limited practice that I do endorse of occasionally receiving information from the other side. It's not solicited, but you'll be working with a guest or a client, or in my energy healing school where I teach, and you'll suddenly be given information, maybe even know where it came from her aunt who's dead, or her grandmother, or his favorite uncle. When that comes to you during a healing session to aid the loved one that's in front of you that you have permission to work with, that's a whole different matter. Now, these are fairly rare occasions. I promise you, really rare, okay? They don't happen every healing, not even every month. And when they do occur, you, the practitioner, or healer, if you like that word, you quietly, with no fanfare, gently guide your client with this new information that's been given to you. That way, you don't fall into this pattern of going into ego. It's a real trap. And you're trying to impress people with your abilities the next thing you know. It's pretty irresistible. All right, the second thing I would point out, another problem I've seen over and over and over again in a lifetime of practicing and teaching energy medicine, is that when one spends too much time on certain levels of the field where this kind of connection is possible, often the fifth level, okay, it's fairly risky. It's not uncommon to pick up undesirable connections you weren't looking for. Out there, there's all sorts of energy and spirits, and some of these connections may be just minor annoyances, but others that I have seen are very serious, right up there with outright possession. So my experience is that it takes a great deal of skill and training and self-awareness to know when you're safe out there and when you are not. So most of my students, they don't have any idea about that. They don't know. They go to the fifth level and they're like, well, here we are. Yeah, they're there under my umbrella and I'm teaching them there, but I wouldn't necessarily want you hanging out there. So it never seems to fail that when someone comes to me and is worried and complains that believe they've picked up some dark energy, that when I quiz them, they'll tell me they've worked with a medium. I'm like, okay, here we go. So even more problematic I've found when I'm asked to guide someone who is a medium, when I've asked to fix the issue, they're often very bound up with negative energy that they don't even know they've picked up from these other planes, these other levels with spirits they weren't seeking. So there's a lot of spirits out there. This is a much trickier thing than you might suspect. So thirdly, I think it's a fact that most guidance that is provided by a medium is not going to be based necessarily on the highest values. Think about it. If you spend all your time focused on your third eye, making it better and better and more clairvoyant and able to sense better and better, this is going to be to the detriment of the rest of your consciousness. It will stymie your overall spiritual development. So we are given these paranormal gifts, and I help you develop them, you, the student, the guest. I help you develop your gifts when I see them. I go, oh, look, you have this gift. But you don't want to get so enamored with a gift, especially the gift of connecting to the other side, that you overuse it and make yourself feel special. That's not exactly the road, right, of humility and service that will take us beyond ourselves and to a path of more enlightenment. So bottom line, I think any guidance that you get from someone, like a medium, for example, can only be as good as the level of their skills and their own spiritual development. Now, I thought about this a lot when I was getting ready to talk to you today, and I thought, isn't that a truism, right, in every field? I've noticed that every attorney, doctor, a psychologist, or healer that one might go see, it's only going to be as good, what you get from them, as that individual's training, their skill set, and their level of confidence, their level of consciousness. Pretty interesting if you think about it, right? I thought about everybody that I've consulted ever. Most recently, I was telling my husband, we had just met with a physician, and I said, you know, he's so wise. He's also pushing 70. He's been in practice his whole life. He's got like 3 board certifications. He's very humble, very conservative, and there you go, right? So there you've got your skill set, your wisdom, and he has higher consciousness. He's not at all, you know, in his 3rd chakra, where you'd be pushing. So now that I've laid out the dangers of mediumship, or when I was preparing to speak to you today, I thought really my anti-mediumship lecture, kind of, right? I want to distinguish the time-honored and valid practice of you personally connecting. Remember, not through a medium, but you personally, which I teach every day. I'm teaching you whether you're alone and you're reaching out to your guides, or you're, you know, with me in a guided session, and I have an umbrella of safety over all of us. You should be reaching out to your ancestors, your favorite ancestor, your favorite animal guide, your favorite ascended master, your favorite divine figure, your favorite angels. You should do it daily if you can. I encourage you to do that. We all benefit from continuity beyond this earthly realm. We really do. And continuity with the other planes and other guided spirits that are there for us, that are safe. It can help us heal ourselves, and it can help us heal others if that's your role in life. And you know, it's everyone's role in life, right? You've got your children or your pets or your parents or your grandchildren. You have people you want to be helping, for sure. And at the same time, however, we want to accept the wisdom that spirits beyond this veil, when they impart information to us, we want to take it in quiet devotion and readiness. We don't want to use it to impress. So, with all those provisos, I want to tell you about a medium that I really do admire, the life and legacy of a man with the most amazing ability, really, in this field, the field of obtaining super valid guidance. That's what we're looking for, right? Super valid guidance. Of course, I'm talking about Edgar Cayce, a remarkable, remarkable man. I discovered him when I was in my 20s. And I devoured everything I could read by him, and then everything I read about him. So I was ultimately invited to his place there in Virginia Beach, his Center for Research and Enlightenment, where I went there and taught. You know, a lot of commonality and synergy between myself and the center. So here's his story. When he was a young man in his 20s, he totally lost his voice, and I don't mean like for a week or two. It was a year. He couldn't speak at all for a full year. So he was desperate for a cure, and back then hypnotism was all the rage. And so some traveling hypnotist came through town and put him in a trance, and all of a sudden Edgar could speak. He was so excited, right? But the moment the trance wore off, he lost his voice again. So, you know, he's trying to figure out what to do, and a local hypnotist says to him, let me try. He hypnotizes Cayce, and this is different. This time, Cayce, in the trance, diagnoses himself, realized he was suffering from a psychological block, like so many of us are, right? And then he treated himself. He came up with his own treatment. So the local hypnotist is watching this, and he goes, gee, I think you have a gift. Why don't you offer it to the public? So Cayce decides he'll do that. He gets a secretary. He says, I won't charge for this service. That was brilliant of him, by the way. And by the time he'd done 8,000 of them, they started recording them, and they recorded another 14,000. I've skimmed through most of them. Some of them are brilliant. They're available online, you know, if you're curious. And today I'm going to give you a thumbnail version of some of his most profound insights. Now, Cayce came up with the words Akashic Records and said he got all of his information from there. So he coined the term. And his guest, what I call a guest or client, didn't need to be with him, could be far away and send a letter. My experience is the same. As you can see from my red phone work, I never need to be with my guest either. I can pick up the information from the same place, from the Akashic Records. I can, by the way, train you to get information from the Akashic Records in a safe way if that's what you're interested in. In my school, I do that. So when Cayce was asked to explain the Akashic Records, I loved his explanation. And by the way, I have a show on Akashic Records. I think it's just one show back in Facebook and YouTube. He said they are the record upon which each individual writes their own thread of time and space. Beautiful definition, by the way, because it's hard to define. So he says that after our death, or at our death, each of us is presented with our own personal Akashic record. It's an accounting, of our history and our karma. So Cayce's readings would indicate that we each write our own life story with what we think, what we do, how we interact with absolutely everyone and everything during our entire life here on Earth. So just as an aside, my own experiences with near-death experiences, I've had more than several, and had that flash of my whole life passing before me. And all the studies I've done on other people's NDEs, near-death experiences, I agree that at death we will go through a life review. I really totally agree with that. Here's another interesting point. Cayce can't recall right after the reading what he said to the client while he's doing the reading. He's, just goes through him. And I agree with that too, because when I'm doing a reading, I'm there and I hear you and I hear what I say, but ask me 20 minutes later, I won't know what I said. So the information just comes through you, and it's as if the information doesn't stay in your consciousness. It was brought to you, probably by a guide, for the purpose of helping your guest. So Cayce's experience is a little different though. So when I'm 100% present when the info comes in, this is a really important distinction from his work. I want to be sure to mention this. If you read about him or you know of him, you're aware that he was not conscious during the readings. Now, there's another man you probably know of, John of God. I'll do a show on him here not too long from now, who followed that same risky, older style practice of not being conscious while they were working with people. When I worked with John of God in Brazil, it was 20, 25 years ago, and I was horrified, frankly, to see this old style of John of God gave his consciousness away when he was in the green room, and then he came out and you could tell he wasn't conscious, he wasn't even present. Well, sadly, look how his life has turned out. My heart actually goes out to him despite the horrific nature of his crimes. I think a lot of it had to do with this not being conscious, because just anybody can invade you then. But again, we'll talk about John of God another day. So the important thing you need to know is you got to be fully awake, aware, and present during all sessions with a client or a guest. And anytime you access another plane with their permission, you wouldn't do this without the client's permission. Anytime you're working to help someone, you got to be present or you're not safe. You want to be fully conscious of yourself and what you're saying and doing during every reading and session. So again, that old style of reading and healing where the practitioner leaves their body, dangerous, because negative entities can stroll right in, who knows what could happen. So another mistake that Cayce made that a lot of us have made is he overworked, right? He couldn't say no. He died at 67 literally from overwork. When I see that personality attribute, I used to suffer from it. Really what it is, it's a personality defect, right? Because it's a need for approval. Anyone who overworks, really, right? It isn't healthy. So if you suffer from that, if the shoe fits, listen up. So now let's take a break, sing a song. We'll come back and I'll tell you about some of Cayce's most remarkable prophecies that apply to us and our times today. All right. This next song It's going to be a real treat for you. It's one of my favorites.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, what did I see? Coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Well, if you get there, children, before I do, coming for to carry me home, yeah. Tell all my friends that I'm sure of coming too, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home.
Go, David.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me, coming for to carry me, coming for to carry me
How much fun was that?
Yeah.
I'm such a good time. Oh my God. Okay, back. More on Edgar Cayce and the prophecies. You want to know about the prophecies, okay? Okay, where were we? So Casey's library of readings fall into six topics, okay? There's health, philosophy, and reincarnation. I'm going to digress for a minute and tell you when Cayce found out that in readings when he's unconscious, right, he's been talking about reincarnation, he's horrified because he's dyed in the wool Baptist, you know, and they didn't believe in reincarnation. He just didn't know what to do. He finally wrapped his head around it. So that's his second topic is philosophy and reincarnation. Then he's big on dreams. That's third. Fourth is ESP and psychic phenomena. 5 is oneness. Well, what an interesting topic that is, right? And 6 is kind of a hodgepodge of spiritual growth, meditation, and prayer. So he died in 1945. He's still very big, right? And many of the terms that he came up with, that he invented, we're using. Akashic records, spiritual growth, auras, soulmates, holistic health. They're an integral part of our everyday language, right? Now, here's the prophecies. I'm quite fascinated by them. Here's the ones that he made that came true later, years after he made them. First was he completely predicted the stock market crash of 1929. And he predicted World War II. Interesting, huh? And he predicted a shift in the electromagnetic poles that happened in the year 2000 that's still going on today and that actually may be the root cause of us moving into the next age, the new age. Now, for the future, here's what he's had to say. It's pretty interesting. He was asked if human life would be extended this is, I thought, particularly interesting in the times of COVID. Would it be longer than what was expected in his day? And he said, yes, human life will be extended quite a bit, considerably longer. He was also asked if there would be some kind of a self-fueling machine. And he said, yes, and that offers us hope, right? With all the problems we're having with our environment, think how nice it would be for the climate if we could stop using fossil fuels. They're devastating our ecosystem. He also revealed that since our consciousness has evolved and expanded over time, that a new age and a new understanding of humanity's relationship to Source would appear right about now, okay, right around 2025. That each of us must work with our own soul development to get on board with this. We have to resonate with this new consciousness. He also said that, there was an ancient hall of records that we all know from the shared consciousness that Jung talks about. We all know that Atlantis had a hall of records and that it will be rediscovered. Cayce said it will be rediscovered, maybe in your lifetime, right? And it will signify the manifestation of this new level of consciousness. So Cayce also prophesied that eventually, get this, China will become the center of true spirituality. I just think that's fascinating. If you think of what's going on right now in the world politically, that's an especially interesting insight, isn't it? Now, he had plenty to say, as I mentioned, about reincarnation and karma. His readings essentially counseled that if you're fascinated, this is one of the things I harp on all the time, you're real fascinated by past lives, don't be, because the life you're concerned with is this one, because this is the only one you can make changes in, spiritual changes. So past lives are interesting, and I believe that in some fashion they exist. Not sure how, but they do. But I wouldn't get hung up on it very much. I rarely give a guest or client any past life information. I rarely think that it's, like not even once a month. It's not even maybe once a year. It's so unusual to think it would be helpful. Again, although we retain skills and lessons from our past lives, the values of this life is to evolve further. That's the whole point of why we're here. That's why you chose to have a life. To learn new lessons and grow and be of service here in the present. So our abilities from past lives are provided to us for sure. They help us fulfill our purpose on earth here. We also, and I'm 100% on board with him on this one, we pre-select our surroundings before each time we incarnate. We pre-select our parents, the family, the location, the time period, the whole 9 yards. That what we choose, whatever will help us learn completeness. And as for karma, he has kind of a limited deal with karma. He said the karma is just for you, not for others. So Cayce, as I do, stresses that prayer, talking to Source, and meditation, listening and being with Source, beneficially affects your consciousnness and your vitality, and the survival of the planet hinges on all of us doing that, all of us viewing life as a sacred whole. And then the last thing I want to mention is the question that everyone asks once they've agreed, as I do, that we survive death, right? Our consciousness survives physical death. Well, what are our loved ones doing on the other side? What are they up to over there? And here's what Edgar Cayce had to say. He said, when we die, we merely change form, and we're still very much alive. Death is only passing through God's other door. Isn't that fascinating? I'll repeat that. Death is only passing through God's other door. So I'm in total agreement and synergy with him in this statement. So let's make the most of ourselves while we have the advantage of being here in a physical body. Okay, that's my limited sort of mediumship presentation. Okay, let's go sing another song. Oh, and then we'll be taking calls from you on the red phone, so you want to call in if you haven't yet. wants to hear a solo from Lois, just sit back and listen to this one.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Abide with me. Fast falls the evening tide. The darkness deepens. Lord, with me abide. When other helpers fail and comforts flee, help of the helpless soul abide with me. Hold thou thy cross before my closing night. Shine through the gloom and point me to the sky. As morning breaks and earth's vain shadows flee, in life and death, O Lord, abide with me. Abide with me.
Oh, I know you enjoyed that as much as I did. Oh my God, that just brings tears to my eyes, Lois. I could listen to her all day. All right, time to take calls from you. Such a sweet day out here. Oh my God. So sweet. It's like 75 with a little breeze and flowers. My whole garden's in bloom right now. This is so Southern California. I'm very, I don't know about you guys, I'm very weather oriented. I really care. I check every morning, and you know, it's pretty hard to be unhappy in Southern California. Here we go. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I, whoops, I picked up too soon. Hi, how can I help you? Hi there. Can you hear me okay? Hello?
Hello?
Hi, what's your name? Can you tell me your name?
This is Lynn. Can you hear me?
I can, Lynn. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't know if you were answering me. I'm in Virginia.
Okay.
And I I actually met you at Casey's ARE many,
Oh my
many years
God.
ago.
We must have been
Yes.
kids, Lynn. That's a long
I
time ago.
know,
I was
we
in
were.
ARE, yeah, at Edgar Cayce's place.
Yes, and thank you for what you said about him. And COVID has hit them hard, so please keep them in your thoughts and prayers.
We will.
I've also talked to you a number of times on Hay House
Wonderful, back in the day.
back in the day.
Well, how
and,
can I help you today?
Well, I'm still dealing with a number of health issues, but specifically today, hypothyroidism for many times, and I don't like taking meds, and I'm not on any right now, and I'm looking at working with a new practitioner, and I've had some very bad experiences with them, so I have to be very cautious before I connect with someone else, and I just wondered what you might pick up about him.
Are you very Vata? Is that what I'm picking up?
Yes, I am.
That's why you don't do well with meds. It's not that the med's the wrong med. It's just that any med for you is very tricky.
We did talk about my Vata-ism
Did we?
once.
On some other occasion, yeah, I can sense that. And can you share the first name of the practitioner?
Michael, Dr. Michael.
Homeopathist or a naturopath?
Actually, he's a chiropractor, but he's also a natural endocrinologist. He's ventured off into other things, of course, as many of them do. And we've had a long consult for free on Zoom.
So he's remote to you?
Yes, he's in North Carolina.
And have you been? Have you had your T3, your uptake done recently?
Yes, I sent him all those today. Actually, I got all these labs since October, and I am very low in T3. I just want to be able to increase that without the meds.
You've taken Synthroid in the past?
I took a compounded levothyroxine and then Leo.
Yeah.
With two different doctors. They took two totally.
You may not be thrilled with what I'm getting, but I'm sensing that you need to consult a board-certified endocrinologist.
I've tried that here in town. And
maybe in a bigger city, Lynn. Maybe take time. What's your nearest large city?
Well, unfortunately, it's D.C., and that my nervous system can't handle that.
Yeah, I'd like for you to get another opinion from, believe it or not, Western medicine. I'm sensing there is a protocol that could really help you that is available.
Through a standard endocrinologist?
I am. Yeah, pretty strong.
Okay, so you don't think a natural approach is going to work?
Well, I'm not being guided to encourage you to go there at this time.
Okay, he's looking for root cause, not just thyroid, know, adrenals and other things too.
Right. Yeah, no, I understand that.
The last endocrinologist I talked to said he didn't believe in adrenal dysfunction. So I'm a little scared of
I'm
that.
only picking up thyroid. I'm not picking up adrenal.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not real thrilled with the idea of you tinkering with adrenals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That might skew you because you're so sensitive.
I definitely am that.
Yeah. And you can, if you can get a consult with somebody, there's no rush, and then you can share your information with me. I'm easy to reach on Facebook.
Oh, okay. I'm on Facebook.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to, or come here, we'll chat again about it, in a month or two.
Okay, I appreciate you.
I'm careful, from a lifetime of counseling people, and I would be very leery of taking anything for your adrenals right now.
Okay, even supplements. I don't take any.
No, I mean supplements. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't think I am really. I also have a lot of detox problems, genetic problems that seem to be interfering with a lot of stuff.
Are you working?
No, I'm retired. I'm 74. I've been at this a long time.
You feel, Lynn, if I could encourage you also to maybe get involved with something that keeps you really busy, I think you'd be happier.
Yeah, it's pretty busy around here. Just trying to keep up with my health stuff and my husband's. He's 5 years older than I am.
Yeah, no, I meant something for you. That's nice that you're so supportive of him, but something just for you. Yeah, something just for you. You know.
Well, I do walks for Alzheimer's and suicide prevention. I'm connected
that's
to
nice.
the Mental Health Association here.
Something just for fun, like maybe art or something fun. All right, I'm glad you called.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You take care.
Good to talk to you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
So just to teach for a moment, it's really easy. Well, like with Lynn, I would have much rather colluded with her and you know, approved her choice, but it's not the guidance I was getting. So I think at my next workshop, I'm going to teach collusion. It's the first mistake that a novice makes, is that we all want to be liked, so we collude with our client. And we tell them exactly what they want to hear so they'll like us, but that's not going to heal them. And so sometimes you have to tell somebody something, and they get mad, and they get up and walk out the door, and that's the last time you see them, but you've done the right thing. You've just totally done the right thing. You've stayed in your own integrity. Hi, this is Deborah. How can I help you?
Hi, Deborah. This is Patty, like Patty.
Can you repeat your name?
Toronto.
Do you mind repeating your name?
Yes. Sure, absolutely. My name is Patty, like Patty.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And you're in Toronto.
From Toronto. Yes. And I'm so glad that I can go through and talk to you today. Thank you very much for everything you do for us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And I had several classes with you before, sutras and astral dream, if I'm not mistaken. And I talked to you in astral class about my vision, if you remember me. And you told me about my ethnic background. Maybe that vision is related to that, if you remember. It's been long ago, actually. But my question for you today is that I just want to know, I always pull between two different things, which is my background is computer, and I worked around 10 years, and later, after I moved to Canada, I changed it to architectural design. And I'll always pull between two things, and also between healing, which I had a practice since I was 18 years old. And now I'm 47. And also, I contacted you several times and had a privilege. You sent me the invitation letter for level 4 of your healing class. But honestly, every time I wanted to attend, something happens. I don't know. I started my own business in architecture. And it takes a lot of money and
Patty,
a lot of work. Yeah,
Patty, so you're doing architecture right now?
Yes, I do.
It feels like a really good choice for you. You probably already know that. It feels like a really solid selection.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, you're not, I can't imagine you enjoyed computer too much. Computer engineering or something. Yeah, no, that's not you. You're very artistic. Yeah. Let me just encourage you with what you're already doing. I think you're already on the right track. Did you have a question about that?
Oh, sorry. If I want to continue my education, come to, I found a school in, that's the UCLA, for continuing education, but I'm not sure, should I, take this a step, or should I take my path for the healing? Because I know it's two different things, but I don't know why I pull between these two, and I really want to help humanity, people, as much as I can, because I've been told by you that I have this gift and I want to use it, but I'm not sure if this is the right time for me, because every time I want to attend to your class, something happens.
Yeah, I don't think it's,
know.
I think you're very guided to wait. I don't think it's the right time. I think you need to keep your focus on your career, and I'm not thinking that going to continuing ed in LA is quite the right thing at the moment. I would keep my focus on your career in Canada. Okay?
Oh, okay.
I think you're doing the right thing.
Then
I just want to commend you on it.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're
Okay.
very welcome.
Then if I want to move to, let's say, LA for continuing education, should I do it? Do you see
I'm
it
not,
if
I'm
it's
not,
the right thing?
I'm not hearing that it's in the immediate future, no. Maybe next year,
Oh, okay.
maybe not this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I see that. Okay.
You
But
take
I have
care.
it strongly in my mind.
Uh-huh.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
I have it strongly in my
Yeah?
mind. Okay, sorry. Okay.
All right.
I
Keep
have
me-
it strongly in my mind that I have to.
Well, keep me
move
posted.
To LA.
Keep me posted. All right, take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye. I think I have time for one more call. Really hard to make life decisions for all of us, isn't it? Hi, this is Deborah. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, what's your name?
Hi, Deborah. This is Shamina from Edmonton.
From Canada?
Yes.
And your first name is Shima?
Shamina.
Shamina. Hi, Shamina. How can I help you?
I just wanted to know what I have bought from the past life in this world for service.
I'm more focused on this life. Are you being of service now?
No, I'm not.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking for something where I can be of service.
You're not working right now?
I'm not working right now.
Uh-huh. Is it elective, or is there some reason why you're not, like more engaged?
Yeah, I was just at home raising kids for about 18, 19 years.
Oh, well, that counts
And
as
it's
work.
just like,
That's a job. Yeah. That's definitely work.
now it's just like, now what do I do?
Yeah, my
How
hat's
can I
off to
be
you,
of
because believe me, I couldn't do it. I don't know how you mothers do it. Looks intense.
It was very intense.
Uh-huh. And your kids are out of the nest now?
They are both in university now.
Uh-huh. Do you have any skills? Did you go to school? Did you?
No, the whole attention was my kids.
On
Since
being
I
a
got
mother?
pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a full-time mom.
Do you have an
And
interest?
what I didn't get in life, I wanted to give them everything, which I didn't get. So.
Well, yeah, but you have to have a life too. It's time for the focus to be on you.
Yes.
So
that's
what would
the
you?
reason I'm at the call right now.
Sure. What would you like to do?
I don't know. It's just like the whole thing was just raising them, and all my life I have never paid attention to me. Like, what do I like? What do I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
So I was just thinking, what if you are picking something up for me?
Well, it feels like you need to do something intellectual. The third level of your field, that's where the intellect is kind of anxious for development. Have you thought about taking some classes?
When I study, it doesn't stay in my mind, so I don't know if classes I've taken.
Are you
I feel
interested?
like nothing.
Are you interested in any of the arts? You know, arts are like
I
pottery, music, horses. You know, those are kind of artistic things. Anything like that?
not
Do you
sure.
do you meditate?
I used to a lot.
Can I get you started again?
Yes, I started yesterday.
Wonderful.
From yesterday. Yeah.
Congratulations. You know, the answer is going to come to you in about 25 days from meditating. Get you to meditate every day. You have a good practice? You have a practice that drops you in deeply?
Yes, I do.
Uh-huh. What do you hear, a mantra or what?
Yeah, it's my mantra. Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh my, start doing that. I think the answer is going to come to you. I think you're just disconnected right now from your own higher self, so you're not hearing information, and you've been kind of stuck for a long time, you know, stuck at home.
For a long time.
Yeah. And, you know, I would be meditating and I would be reading. Do some reading. You know, read what other people are doing. Get some ideas that way. Does that help?
And do I make an intention or anything like that?
Just the intention to open yourself to the answers that are out there for you.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. I'm glad you called.
Thank you so much for your
You're
help.
very welcome. You take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Time for one more song, you guys. Our guy Jack's going to lead this one.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the morning, in the evening, ain't we got fun? Not much money, but oh honey, ain't we got fun? The rent's unpaid, dear. We haven't a car, but anyway, dear, we'll stay as we are. Even if we owe the grocer, don't we have fun? Tax collectors getting closer, still we have fun. There's nothing surer, the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Even if we owe the grocer, still we have fun. Now the collector is getting closer, still we have fun. There's nothing surer, the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Ain't we got fun? Ain't we got fun?
Okay, that was fun. That was fun. So, hey, before we close, just a reminder that I do have a year-long program that just started here just last week, and I have room for one more student if you're interested. It's an intense year, okay, where I cajole, sweet talk, or drag you to the finish line of your higher self, your next initiation, spiritual initiation, and plus you learn a ton of energy healing while we're at it. So just go to deborahking.com/master to find out more. Would love to have you if you're ready. All right. Would love to see you again every 2 weeks. So it'll be not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after. So until I see you then, you take care.
I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I got peace like a river in my soul. I got peace like a river. joy like a fountain in my joy like a